is in like the most of the promo material. He's gonna be around for the whole show. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I just really hope they don't turn him into the villain.
That would be a surprise for me. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at that, low key. If he went through a villain arc.
As someone that's a big Creature Commandos fan, like I really love big bulky characters like that, and it's so easy to make him a villain. It's so easy to make him the guy that you hate. Make him the leader. Make him the leader that doesn't necessarily want to lead. He's not a part of anything. Like, give us something special.
Okay, I think we're back now. Hopefully my PC doesn't say fuck me. If it happens again, I'll just say kaput, but I think we should be good.
All right, on.
How is the damn vertical stream still going though? What the hell?
Free at last from my vegetable prison is crazy.
What happened?
Oh, I sent him the amazing screw-on head.
That's insane. I don't know how that survived, but cool, whatever.
Right this very instant.
Where were we at before the shit? My PC said "fuck me."
We were talking about something.
Oh my god, fuck my life. Anyway, getting into the show. Concern Dodge or Concern Doge? Elite gonna have to give me some details. I don't know what that means. But yeah, we won't stay on super long because we already that last stream was like what 30 minutes we were going, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, but to get into the show again, I guess for predictions in regards to because you already know with James Gunn, something is going to get revealed about this show or about this universe going forward that everybody's gonna be talking about. Thank you, Elite X. When he said we were talking about Gil and Min being just Abe. Okay, appreciate y'all for coming back in. Hopefully my computer works with me. But
I kind of, if we're getting something set up, I'd really like the Dark Justice League to be set up. Like, since we already have these characters, have them, just interact a little bit with Constantine or Zatanna or Swamp Thing or what's the voodoo guy?
not Brother Voodoo, right?
It's not
Is
Doctor.
No, Dr. Voodoo is Marvel. I'm tripping.
Dr. Midnight?
It's not. Is it Dr. Midnight?
Baba Midnight.
Baba Midnight?
That's
Midnight?
it. Papa Midnight.
Papa Midnight. I wouldn't be surprised. I was always curious as to, because you already know it's going to be a character who'll be like the connector for those. It may be somebody. It would make sense for it to be somebody in this crew.
Put Etrigan in there.
Etrigan would be good.
Etrigan would be crazy. They already got the scenery for it. You know what I'm saying?
Just have him join the crew for a little bit. It would make sense for him.
Exactly.
Hey, Sean, start over to the right again a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
And like, Papa Midnight's already been in Cape Crusader. It can happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the Elite just said. Yeah, no, he was in the last Batman animated series. He was great. Cedric Yarborough did an amazing job with him.
Etrigan's always a character that I always really enjoy him. I was low-key concerned when I saw a demon in the Black Adam movie. I was like, do they have Etrigan popping up in this? I don't know how that's going to work, but cool. That's who I thought it was. I could have sworn it was going to be Etrigan. And for it to be this random-ass demon made no sense for me, but that's a whole different discussion. But yes, I think I can see characters like Brother Midnight coming in. We do know that Gunn has talked about characters that he's going to be bringing in. They're going to be more C-list characters. Like, we know the Authority's coming. I've heard him discuss wanting to bring in Static Shock. I don't know how that works with the relationship with Milestone. I know he's cool with them, but I don't know if I could see
they not cool with WB right now.
Right.
I think he would be willing to take any concessions to get Static Shock because he understands the importance of Static Shock.
Right.
I'm sure he does. I'm absolutely sure he does. That is the only contender that we have right now to go up against Miles Morales Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
And even Miles doesn't have a live action movie yet.
Right.
And he's still dominating.
Right.
That's one thing that I love.
Hasn't even been cameoed and he's dominating, bro.
I'm gonna admit, like my dream choice, I know it's completely insane, but I'd love to see Gentleman Ghost. I am a huge Gentleman Ghost fan, and I need him to join the Creature Commandos.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay. He was really fun in the the last Batman.
Oh yeah, he was great
on Amazon Prime. That was really fun.
Hunter Iggy, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. Love seeing new faces. But yeah, I think I sent you the post, Sean. I don't know if I sent it to you, Aiden, of an interview that Gunn had on some podcast or some show where he was discussing future projects and how a big issue with movies right now and in cinema in general is they're not allowing the writers to write, and that they're just pumping out movies just because of the IP, and like third acts of films aren't being developed, and how he was going to have a focus on writing and these screenplays being top notch, and if it wasn't good, he wasn't going to greenlight it. Like that was the thing that he was like declaring. He's like, if the scripts are not good, I'm not greenlighting this shit to go.
And everything has been heat. It's all been heat. It's all been perfect.
I've seen people argue that like the David Ayer Suicide Squad would have been better. I'm like, sure, but we don't know that. Right. We know that this Suicide Squad was just conceptually from the top to the bottom, even if you know nothing about DC, a great action movie. If you know anything about DC, this is a phenomenal film. And then you have a spinoff in Peacemaker that's just a great dark comedy. Sign me up. Like they know how to keep you going from project to project, and yet you don't need to know those projects to enjoy what you're watching, but it does elevate it. Right. And that's such a very important, balancing act that he has perfected.
And that's something I find really enjoyable about Gunn is how he knows his stuff. It feels very much so like he has potential to be like on a do what Feige did, I guess, to grow the MCU to the level of fame it's had. But then on top of that, he knows all the mistakes that the MCU has made, even from the inside out, from making movies there. Right. So it's like, okay, he can capitalize and not make a lot of the same mistakes that Marvel's over there making. And I think the biggest factor in regards to the DCU that can make this thing amazing is this Elseworld concept that they have going on, where you can have the patented Batman and let that director direct and tell that story the way that they want to tell that story, but also have your gods and monsters storyline that everybody's here for in regards to the main timeline. You can just allow people to do everything they want to do and allow these people to have their visions and stories they want to tell. Like we can get a Predator versus Batman. We can get Deceased. We can get all these random storylines and still have the main timeline be good. Now, I've heard the clapback that people have had to that in regards to people getting confused as to what's going on. But at that point, I'm just like, look, if this is good content, I don't think people care as much. If they can't try, they'll go to new rock stars like they already do to find out what's connected to what. I wouldn't worry too much about that personally.
Hunter Iggy, to answer your question, I did see that people were mad about the Nightmare timeline. I don't think he's following the Nightmare timeline religiously. I don't think he's taking some elements from it, but that's also, again, he loves those more, not noir, but definitely gothic ideas. Right. Like, he's going to use those darker elements. And DC, I would argue, outside of some heroes, which is the point of those heroes, does better with darker elements. It's definitely a much more moral-based and God-based idea than it is a human-based idea with Marvel. And then you have Superman and Green Lantern where things are much brighter and much more, illuminated. But Creature Commandos, Suicide Squad, Batman, Wonder Woman typically does better with darker runs.
Gritty to the earth.
I think the most part of what it is too is they do a better job at delving into ethics and morality historically, especially within comics. When I'm looking at stories like Kingdom Come, like Injustice, like The Killing Joke, there's always a question of, yes, you have the power to be a hero, but should you for these reasons? And I think that's something that I personally enjoy a lot more about DC than Marvel. I think Marvel does it too. I'm going to be
disgusting casual and say I hated The Killing Joke. I thought it was one of the worst things I ever read.
Really?
I couldn't get into it at all. I think every time Kevin Smith said it was his favorite comic book, I hated it more. And it just drove me insane.
So
because I had finished Death of Superman, and then I was like, well, I hear this is the best Batman story, so let me go ahead and read this after I read The Longest Night. And I'm like, the hell is this?
It's very. I feel like when people say it's the best thing, it's kind of that. It's very similar to that one cinephile that you meet where they want to give you the most obscure movie. That's it's very pretentious because it's obscure, and I'm like, okay, I understand that. Martin Scorsese did this one random thing that was very much so new for the time period, but is it better than this thing where I have fun in? I had fun in this movie here.
Please tell me how Dangerous Killers is your favorite Tarantino movie. I yearn to learn.
Oh my God. But sure. But Sean, to ask you the big question, what projects are you looking? And I'll ask Aiden the same question as well before we get up out of here soon. But what is the main project that you're looking? What are the main projects in plural that you're looking forward to that's been announced so far
That
for
have
the
been
DCU?
announced?
Yeah, that have been announced so far.
Superman. Superman, Superman, Superman. Because this is the first movie. I've heard some synopsis rumors, and it's sounding amazing. So for right now, I'm gonna hold my breath for that and that only.
Can I just say I hate that we have to hold our breath on a Superman property?
Bruh.
Like Batman, we usually know it's going to be an okay project. Superman, who knows?
Yes.
I think it's just because you don't have evidence of what I don't think too many people understand what a good Superman movie looks like. Like with Batman, we've seen a million of the movies, we've seen a million stories, and we kind of get it. But with Superman, it's like, all right, we know evil Superman works from watching any of the last like IPs that have released over the last like 5 years, and then Injustice. We know that Superman dying works from the death of Superman. But outside of like All-Star Superman, I don't think people understand too much what a good Superman story looks like per se. And I think that's a lot of the
Even though we
reservation.
get good Superman stories in big events like Brightest Day, like, you know, when he was involved in even Flashpoint had a great reimagining of him.
I mean,
Red Sun was a great idea.
Crisis was okay.
It was fine.
It was fine. It wasn't groundbreaking.
But I feel like all those were like, again, like derivatives of other people's stories though, versus like a Superman centric solo run.
You're right. You're right. He's just
Godfall, the Superman run was probably the best story Jack Kirby ever wrote. Because that was the first big Darkseid versus Superman, like, smackdown.
I'm not mad at that.
And when even Bruce Timm is like, yeah, we need to animate that yesterday. Like, you know you did good.
I need to see more. I think with a Superman, for me, the first movie, again, because we've already got. Oh, and for people that are wondering, I'll let Sean get into the conversation we had earlier in regards to some of the potential spoilers for the plot of it. But I just want to give this spoiler alert for people that are watching that if you don't want anything spoiled at all about the plot of the first Superman movie that's going to be coming out, directed and written by James Gunn, you can kind of jump out now and come back in later. But Sean, do you want to kind of tell the people a little bit about the info in regards to what is being planned for some of the script, I guess, or the plot for the first movie?
Yeah, Superman 2 was goated. Thank you very much for that. The Elite X1.
Yeah, so, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming in.
From what I understand, we're gonna see a clone version of Superman in Ultraman. Not Ultraman from Earth 2, and not the Japanese kaiju fighting.
Look, it needs to be said. It was nominated for an award. People know Ultraman now.
None of that. But then also, it's supposed to be obviously an older Superman, a Superman who's been doing this for a little while, a Superman that we're not gonna see the origin of because everybody fucking knows it. Thank you so much, because we've seen it so many times in so many different iterations. We don't need to see it again. Like, if you don't know Superman's origin story, go and pick up a comic book at this point.
Literally just watch My Adventures with Superman and get anime Superman and just enjoy it.
It's been amazing.
Exactly. But so this Superman is supposedly going to be a little outdated. People are going to not fear him. His villains aren't going to be scared when he shows up. You know, they're going to do their battle apparently, but as far as like the public opinion of Superman, he's soft, he's old-fashioned, and they're looking at more violent villains, more or heroes that are willing to kind of take that extra step and really put a villain down. And I think that's one reason why they probably have like Hawkgirl. She's a very violent hero. Like, she will beat the shit out of you. So I think Hawkgirl is very good to have in there. I'm wondering
Guy Gardner.
Very violent.
Guy Gardner
famously.
is very, very violent. So I think those are the heroes that the public eye is going to start looking to like help and save Metropolis versus Superman. When Superman shows up, they're probably going to boo him, throw shit at him, you know what I mean? And then it's going to just
I want him to be more apathetic than throwing things at him. They have to still remember he's Superman. Like, keep going about your day when you see him flying over.
It kind of
absolutely see people throwing shit at him.
It feels like the story's going to be very
stuff at my man.
It's going to be really reminiscent to me to Kingdom Come in regard to that same regard of like Superman finding that inspiration to be a hero again, because all these new heroes are really violent and kind of flying off the cuff. That's what I gather. Really quickly though, take a little second to address the chat. I want to thank everybody, all 13 of you guys that are in the building. I thank you guys so much. I appreciate anyone that is here for the first time. Anybody that's come into the Elite X1's point. Thank you for anyone that was referred by Blur Without Fear. Shout out to my guy Ernie. He does great stuff over there. And so again, thank you guys for coming in. Craig, appreciate you for coming back in, my guy. Again, I thank all of you for giving me a second of your time, and I'm forever grateful for that. But to get back into this though, to your point though, I do think this is going to be one of those morality and ethical looks at being a hero with Superman. And again, these are stories that I enjoy the most with him, and seeing that, because it seems like we're going to get, because we've seen that, like, that's the art of like him on the moon with crypto and stuff like that. So I feel like we may get a little bit of him soul searching in regards to being motivated to be a hero again. And I'm hoping that means we get some more cameos.
I really hope they let him fly off the handle, though. I really hope they let him like really put Metropolis in its fucking place, because if the synopsis that I read is true, right? Like, and nobody is scared of Superman at this point. I really want a scene in the same vein as Superman versus the Elite.
Oh yeah.
Where he just goes the hell off.
He reminds them that he's Superman.
Yeah, exactly. I need something like that towards the end. And if Starro is supposed to be one of the major threats that we've seen in like concept art, I think Starro is going to be one of the major threats.
Yeah, he's returning.
I think so.
If we're getting Starro again, we need to get Brother Eye yesterday. Like, if you're gonna do it, go all the way with it.
Didn't they mention Starro coming back or not being dead in the Creature Commandos in that Amanda Waller and Rick Flag scene?
Yeah, they mentioned it, but like, Starro's a boring villain. I'll say it. Like, everybody gets brainwashed by a starfish. Yay.
Yeah, I don't think he's a main villain at all. I think he's a side villain for sure. Something to get rid of.
Weaponized by someone.
40 minutes or so of the movie, because this movie is supposed to be about the same length as the first Christopher Reeve Superman movie. So that's like 146 minutes or something like that, they said.
2.5 hours. Okay.
Yeah, it was a long one.
Because to be fair, it is our first one in the new Gunniverse, I guess.
And you gotta establish they gotta establish the lanterns, Hawk. They gotta establish a lot of shit in this world.
Yeah.
So I see that being the thing.
They gotta establish the fact that he's been here for a while without bringing in an origin story. And then we gotta see Lois, right? Because Lois is supposedly a troublemaker. She's not necessarily the damsel in distress that we see all the time. She's one of those. Okay,
no, not we see all the time. There are plenty of examples of Lois being in the trenches with Clark. She's been in war zones. Let's not call her a damsel.
I mean, come on. Let's be real, though.
She gets herself into most of her trouble, though. Like, most of the, like...
She does. What
was the one movie where she, like, jumped out of the window because she was certain that Superman would save her? I don't know if it was one of the live-action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was Superman 2, actually. I think that was Superman 2.
I'm just like, Lois, what is wrong with you? That being said, bro. Aiden, what is your project you're looking forward to?
Again, because I can't be excited for Superman, and we just talked about it. It's gotta be the Green Lantern True Detective show that he's working on, where, you have Guy Gardner, you have Hal Jordan, you have Jon Stewart, Kilowog are all confirmed to be showing up, and I want so bad, so bad for Hal Jordan to be the bad guy.
I wouldn't be mad at that if he was like already secretly going becoming Parallax from the jump.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I say you give him the flash of yellow in his eyes. He's like, oh man, I don't know why the yellow lanterns are acting up the way they are, and the green lanterns aren't responding how they should. I'm like, that's a great idea. I love that idea. Now just make Hal Jordan the villain. Go the last step. No one cares about Hal Jordan anymore. Make him the pure personification of evil. Have them put down, Sinestro, and he wasn't the big bad the entire time. It was actually Hal Jordan.
Like he murders Sinestro.
Humanize Guy Gardner. It gives you humanizing for Jon Stewart, and you can deliver a great plot, cliffhanger for season 2.
It could essentially be an altered version of like Hal's original origin, where Sinestro was taking him around training and doing these things with them, and was a big like inspiration for the Corps, and is a tenured member, somebody that they all looked up to Sinestro and then turned heel. But I think this one could be a little bit more subtle in regards to maybe Hal kind of being around and helping them out.
Honestly, having him frame Sinestro and have them like go on a chase to catch Sinestro, thinking he did something horrible, like killing one of the ancients, and it was actually Hal, it kind of writes itself at that point. But like, if you're gonna do that,
Parallax,
of course,
of course, Parallax.
You have to mention Guy Gardner, getting a rage ring or understanding what the Butcher is. You can show hints of Atrocitus. You can show hints of
Larfleeze can be mentioned if need be.
Larfleeze,
Larfleeze would be crazy.
Have the Blue Lanterns pop up and be like, "We will teach you peaceful monk ways." You can have Kyle Reiner if you need to. You can have his girlfriend in a fridge. You have a lot of things you can set up. It's got
I hope we get
potential.
that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I need to see the literal fridge, but I would love to see a scene where it's like off screen. It's like,
I think we can say this. Like, it's James Gunn. There is a very good chance we're gonna get the refrigerator scene.
Have to.
Yo, what?
But to your point, though, that's also the show I'm looking forward to the most. I'm biased, though. Everybody knows I love Jon Stewart. He's my favorite DC. Hell, he's my favorite comic book character in general, more than likely. Sometimes I flip flops on a day depending on Static and maybe Black Panther, but. I was kind of I haven't watched a lot of Aaron Pierre performances. I know he's at least a solid actor from the reception that I've seen from people talking about. I think Rebel Ridge is the movie he was in, or whatever the movie was on Netflix that he did before this was announced. So I think he has some acting chops, but I'm really interested to see how they do this, because I know Jon Stewart is going to be a matter of importance with Gunn from the factor of how much he propped up the statue being built in California for Jon Stewart recently.
Yeah, he loved it.
So I'm like, okay, he loves the character. He knows how important the character is. I hope he does right by him. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see my guy finally being portrayed in a great live action appearance. And the Lanterns in general, I feel like the Lanterns have been hoed since the Ryan Reynolds shit from a while ago.
Wasn't it Interview with a Vampire he was cast in? It said the Elite's point in chat.
I'm not sure. Hunter Iggy, I think we'll get Steel at some point. I feel like we'll see a Steel appearance in the Superman movie.
I would be surprised if he wasn't mentioned in the Superman movie.
Yeah. I think he's usually too much of like a consult to Superman in general for him not to be in there. But we're going to see. Again, I know the Blue Beetle's coming back, because I know Gunn has confirmed that he's going to be bringing him back for his MCU. Not MCU, but for his DCEU. So we can expect another Blue Beetle appearance at some point soon.
I think he said he wanted to use Tim Cord too, so he wants to use both of them.
Yeah, which I would, because I know they've confirmed Booster Gold being Kamaj. I can't remember his name. I'm blanking on his name, but he was one of the Eternals.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, I would love to see a series where him and Tim Cord Blue Beetle like do their thing, where they maybe
just
jump
call it
through time.
Booster Beetle. There you go.
I'd be down for that. Because I was trying to figure out how to do
after
that.
credit scene where Tim was like trying to reach out on his machine that they finally powered up and shit.
I think so.
Yeah, it like panned to it. I don't think they saw it, but I know they panned to it though.
Yeah. So and James said he's not doing cutscenes that don't make sense. He's not doing cameos that don't make sense. He's not doing shit that isn't gonna, build this world the way that it needs to be built. So, and James we trust.
Yeah,
I mean,
Elite. He wasn't old. I think that was the thing that made me a little skeptical to Aaron Pierre initially, because I saw old when he was mid-sized sedan, and I was like, that's the guy. That's Jon Stewart. I don't know, but again, I've heard good things about Rebel Ridge. I still have to watch that, but that was my only performance I'd seen him in outside of hearing about him in Rebel Ridge. Plus, I know there was like a lot of conversation about him being a little light-skinned, and I won't really get on that too much personally. But to Elite's point as well, Gunn is definitely looking at what Marvel's doing and the mistakes they made. Because I feel like, didn't he have a little beef with Marvel in regards to Guardians 3? Or it's like, I think there was some issues going on with that.
Yeah,
I know there was a contractual thing, and then there was the whole controversy of his old tweets.
Yeah.
That Disney was like, no. And he's like, fine, I'll go over to DC. I've been wanting to come up with DC ideas for like the last 15 years. I have a whole story. Yeah. Like, I can do this in overnight. And they're like, yeah, come and do that for us, please.
And on top of that, too, I would not be surprised if we saw a return for Henry Cavill at some point. Because I know that they fell apart, but from what I remember hearing him report and from Cavill reporting, it was just a contractual issue. So I'm like, okay, we could see him coming back as a different character.
They want to work together.
Yeah, but he's now doing Highlander. Right. And he has the 40K show that he's got planned that's still in development right now.
But plus I feel like the one he's producing, plus the one that he's playing through. He's going to stream 40K.
Yep.
But I feel like as long as he's not like doing a Marvel movie confirmed, it'll be fine. Because if they're working around John Cena's schedule with his final tour for the WWE, I can see them working around Cavill's schedule. For sure.
I mean, is Cavill really going to be Wolverine is the question.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel like they've already got their Wolverine casted already. I don't think they want to pay him that much. And I wouldn't mind Cavill. I feel like Cavill may be a little too old, depending on how old they make the X-Men. Because I feel like they would go younger with the X-Men this time around. Just for the factor of they want to make sure they milk people out for like a decade plus. And I don't think they have the most confidence in the Young Avengers. I think they don't believe that will do exceptionally well.
They're not even the Young Avengers anymore. They're champions now.
And the Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts could work, but I think a lot of them are older too. So I'm like, you can't keep the Thunderbolts around forever because they're like all in their like late 20s to mid 30s. So I don't know.
And then there's David Harbour.
Yeah, how does that work? Because I know he's in both now, technically.
Oh, he'll do anything. Plus, technically, he's not in a live-action DCEU. He's only in an animated series, so you can just shrug that away. Right. But
this will probably be his last time even being seen in the MCU with Thunderbolts, unless they decide to bring him in for Avengers Doomsday.
I thought they would kill him off, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they would kill him off.
He's the most killable.
How would you guys
for like the big emotional moment? He is the one that will sacrifice himself the fastest, and you will go, man, what a noble way for him to go out. And like, it's totally not that David Harbour's almost 50.
Hunter asked, do we see Henry Cavill coming back as Superman? Because we haven't got confirmation on the casting, I told Sean this. I would not be mad if he came back as the Ultraman clone.
That would be fun. Wouldn't be against that.
And you could kill him off easily.
Him coming back as a version of a Superman.
Right.
Maybe as Superman Kingdom Come. Maybe as if they decide to do a Batman Beyond movie for whatever reason.
You know it's
in
coming.
The next 5 years.
You know it's coming.
Like, maybe he could be Superman in Batman Beyond. But other than that, let's just kill the Superman talk with Henry Cavill for real. Like, just
Superman's old in Batman Beyond.
He could pull it off.
If they did it, I could see the Kingdom Come thing happening. I could
absolutely see the Kingdom Come. The Batman Beyond is a stretch for sure, but I could see it.
What I'm really, really, really fucking excited for is the fact that, like, we've talked about it a couple times in regards to Gunn knowing the DC world, but I think more importantly, he's as a fan, he knows what fans want. He knows the characters you want to see. He knows the stories we want to see told. So for sure, we're going to get a Batman Beyond at some point. We already know that was like pitched as an animated movie at some point. So I can see that, especially with people's interest in it over the news. I could definitely see that being a thing that happens very soon. Static, obviously, Gunn knows the importance of that character. We've already seen him get Jon Stewart out there in regards to some of the representation aspects of it. And we know that like Blue Beetle's coming back.
And it's not like he's representing him because like he needs a Black Green Lantern. he loves Jon Stewart and thinks there's a story there that could be told. He does not put a character in unless he sees a purpose for them, which is such an important part of that. Like, he showed up to the set of Superman with comics in hand for people to read and understand where he's coming from.
Right. I'm just excited, man. Again, we could gush about it all day. I'm praying with every bone in my body that things go well. I'm hoping.
Listen,
that
man.
go well.
If the
off at 2
ship
episodes
is
of
in
Creature
the,
Commandos, things are going very well. I am very excited.
As long as we don't steer from the direction that we have been going with Penguin, Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be perfectly fine.
And I think the dopest thing too is the fact I can see a lot more directors that would say hell no to an MCU movie coming over here from the aspect of Gunn will let you do your story, especially with Elseworld going on. Like, if Nolan wants to come back at some point and do a weird story, again, this is just, again, way out there thinking. I don't think Nolan ever wants to do another superhero movie ever again. But if he wanted to do something, if a random, let's say if Jordan Peele wanted to get involved in a random Brother Voodoo movie, like, pick any of the amount of weird of, like, because I'm looking at especially when it comes to like the horror aspects of DC and the black characters that are in there. Like, I see a Brother Voodoo movie where he's directing that, and that'd be a horror inspired thing, or maybe he does the Justice League Dark. I could see a lot of these directors that are nerds but don't want to deal with the MCU continuity issues come over here. Yeah. Nia DaCosta, I've seen her interview with the Marvels and how it was kind of difficult to have the overarching storyline fit that movie. I've seen for the Agatha show where the showrunner talked about writing 3 different scripts for that one show because they didn't know what characters would be greenlit to be in the show, because Mephisto was a possibility, but they ended up not putting him in. So all that red tape and those hoops to jump through and over at Marvel shouldn't be an issue at DC, because you're either working on a main movie where he has that faith in you, or you can just do an Elseworld movie,
right?
And tell that story.
I will just say this in reference to the Elite's point about Jon Stewart. I would argue most people do not, in the younger generation from ours, do not know who Jon Stewart is, much less really any of the Green Lanterns. The Green Lanterns have not had great representation in about the last, I can agree with that, 12 years. You know, you say younger generation, I'm in my 30s and I grew up with Jon Stewart. Like, we're at a point where Green Lantern representation is just not there. He's sort of hinted at in the Justice League movies, but Jon Stewart, if I remember right, was not. I think they used Hal in the Infinite Crisis like animated movies and everything, because he was played by what's his face from Supernatural and Nathan Fillion.
I think he made like a brief like a cameo appearance. He wasn't there for long.
Yeah, very, very briefly with Hawkgirl, if I remember right, in like Crisis on Infinite Earths. But like, if anything is what kids are seeing, I'm not young.
Like, the only pushback I give to that as somebody who's 24 now, because I'm not maybe close to that. I don't know how old you are. I'm not gonna answer your whole age, but like we're at least
31.
Okay, so we're at least like a little bit over half a decade apart in age gap. And I know with me, I think that Justice League show and JLU was so influential, and I think it also got another breath of air being put on streaming. I still think he's a popular character. Now, do people know anything about him in regards to like his makeup and his personality as a character from the comics of the show? Probably not. But I think people at bare minimum see him at least for people in my generation, especially, like when you mention Green Lantern, he's the first thing that comes into your mind. Like, not how,
and that's fair.
not guy.
I'm just saying, like, Justice League Unlimited, not just Justice League. Justice League Unlimited came out 20 years ago.
Right.
That it's just, that is great representation. I love it. It's Bruce Timm at his best. Of course, I love Jon Stewart. I'm just saying, Green Lantern representation. Technically, the closest one would be the Green Lantern show that came out in like 2010. That was CG and was awful and lasted 10 episodes.
Then the horrible solo animated movie he got like a year or two ago. That was
First Flight. Yeah.
But in all fairness, though, he did get that appearance in Young Justice.
Yeah, that's the one, you know.
Yeah.
Young Justice. I don't know why it has 8 seasons either.
And they keep canceling it and bringing it back. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
If people keep getting excited when you announce it's coming back, it means keep it going. Jesus Christ. It gets well received it's well received every season you do. I don't understand why they keep doing this.
You know, maybe this will be the one. No, they're not. They're fine.
Man. They're
Anyway.
bleeding.
Oh man. Kevin Davis says Disney isn't going to take risk. Audience call everything Disney put out now is woke or pushing political agenda, no matter good or bad writing. Yes,
I would agree with that, especially with The Acolyte. Like, The Acolyte was the big poster child for woke Disney productions, and then you watch it and go, this is fine.
That's
it's
a little
not good. It's not like awful. It's fine.
I give a special condition to The Acolyte due to the factor of that toxic small fan base. Like we all know, Star Wars has a very particular. I'll call them the right wing, for lack of a better term, like the Star Wars theory group of Star Wars fans, where anything not George Lucas is horrible. Anything Disney's touched with Star Wars is horrible. If it's not in reference to a George Lucas thing, they don't want to see it. Even though personally for me, the best stuff has been everything outside of Lucas. The films were cool. They were great. And they started the fandom. But I'm looking at the extended books. I'm looking at the games. I'm looking at the Clone Wars show. All involved people that were fans of the series that were not George Lucas. Personally for me.
Dave Filoni made some amazing stuff that really built out the world.
Yeah, Filoni and Favreau like really, and they're hopefully going to do more stuff. I hope we get more Old Republic stuff. We've gotten a peek at the High Republic with the Acolyte, but I don't know.
Filoni is very obviously the James Gunn of Star Wars right now, where Jon Favreau was that for Star Wars and Marvel for that period. Like, you can do that so long as you don't go back to those dark Joss Whedon days.
It's just going to be really hard for him because he has to deal with that fan base. Like, it's hard to where you have to put out anything, and everything you put out has to be connected to George Lucas or within his vision, or else they'll just fucking riot. Or that small, loud minority will riot really loud and be really toxic on the internet. And then creators are incentivized to do that.
What are they setting up? The preliminary viewing committee where the most diehard fans can watch a movie before it comes out and give their criticism so they can change the movie?
Oh my God.
I've
just been convinced Star Wars is going downhill. The only thing I can hope for with good from Star Wars right now is the games. I'm hoping all the games are fire.
And even that.
I mean, oh my God. Fucking, I'm blanking on it. No, the one with Cameron, redhead dude. I'm blanking on it. The Last Jedi.
Oh,
what was the newest one?
Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor. Yeah, those two games have been pretty good to me, and I've enjoyed his character.
I need High Republic.
I need the Old Republic.
Finn. Yeah.
I need the Old Republic.
I need High Republic. I need Old Republic, and I need Finn as a Jedi because I heard that they asked Finn to come back with Rey.
Yeah, it's tough with that too because it's really even more difficult.
Get Finn, we need Thrawn. We need more Thrawn.
You know Thrawn's on the way. You know he's on the way.
I know, and I know he's got his whole armada beyond the stars, which is why Palpatine built the Empire, and I need to see that. I need to see the Outer Rim Wars.
But it's going to be really tough for the matter of fact of people have, especially if you're not white, people have seen how those actors have been treated historically, like the last 6 years between Boyega,
I don't know what you're talking about. The non-white actors in the newest trilogy definitely didn't quit acting for several years because everyone was telling them what a great job they did on the movies, even if they were in the scene for 30 seconds.
Oh man, Lord. It was. So I don't know, man. And the Elite, I think there's a KOTOR remake has been announced. I thought they were already announced they were working on that, right?
Yeah, it's been announced. It's been delayed. It's been announced. It's been delayed. It's been shut down. It's back. Here he is. He's dead again. He's back.
Yeah. It's not dead. It's just not here.
I know they're working on Star Wars Old Republic, like a remastered version for consoles. They're gonna bring it to console soon. They've been updating textures and cutscenes in that game for a little bit while now. Finn got played because of the Chinese market.
Finn out of the poster for China?
Oh yeah, that was bad. They minimized him in the poster. And then old girl that was playing this, the Inquisitor was getting death threats from her just existing in the Obi-Wan show. Yeah. I was
Michelle Tron, who played the girl that kissed Finn
Rose,
in the second of those, yeah.
To your point too, she got
KOTOR to happen.
She got less.
KOTOR ain't happening. Damn, you've no faith, Elite. Come on.
I guess we gotta hope for another battlefield, or not battlefield, but another battlefront.
If it does happen,
the new battlefront was bad.
Oh man!
Don't say those things.
All that being said, I know we've ran off on a million tangents that I've enjoyed, but to give a final preemptive ranking on these first 2 episodes of Creature Commandos, what do you guys have to give it? I guess we'll give it let's say 7 crossbones out of 10. Oh, no, we'll do like headstones. We'll do headstones out of 10. How many headstones you giving this show, each episode?
Okay.
Headstones. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, not knowing anything about Creature Commandos coming into it, them connecting things from, Peacemaker and some of the things that happened in Zack Snyder's universe, I'm gonna have to go a solid 9.
9. Okay.
Mr. Academic.
As someone that has read the Creature Commandos in the past, has enjoyed their adventures, that likes the weird stuff, that loves these Hellboy vibes we're getting, unless it just absolutely goes downhill from here, and this is the starting arc, which traditionally it only gets better from here. I'm gonna need 10 tombstones and 5 stitches because this is solid for me. I am loving everything I'm seeing from Creature Commandos, and I need more of it.
Before I give mine, Milestone, I don't see anywhere where they announced her being underage. I thought they made it a point to say that she was an adult in the show.
I thought she was an adult, like early 20s.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Yeah, she's definitely an adult. She's probably the same age that Rick Flag Jr. was, which is why
Rick Flag Jr. was in his 30s.
Together.
Yeah, she's like mid-20s more than likely.
Well, he said he would introduce them, so I just figured they would probably be around the same age.
She's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman that has a sexual.
They're wrong because you got the bride right there.
Scene. So, I mean.
Oh wait, you mean Nina the fish? I can see.
You got the
fish.
Right.
Yeah, the bride. Crazy. Yeah, the bride's right there to lust over because they literally have her like. She's not scantily cladded by any means, but
I'm not mad at them.
She's got sex appeal.
Has curves, and she's proud of them.
Right.
I'm furry people.
She's going to be amazing in the show for the factor of she can be connected to so many things over time, and like have known.
They're
so many
not
characters.
furries; they're gillies.
They're gillies.
But no, Milestones. No, she's not underage. I don't think Gunn's stupid enough to do that for one because he wrote the show.
In a tweet.
Yeah, don't believe this.
Well, obviously, everything you see in tweets is true.
Everything on Twitter is true, apparently.
You should tweet James Gunn specifically and ask him.
He'll answer you because I've seen him. He'll answer.
He will absolutely answer you. I would
go check it.
Had a lot of problems.
I would go check his Twitter.
Word it properly. Go check James Gunn's Twitter if you have any doubts about her age.
He's probably already answered the question.
Somebody's asked him already.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, for me, I'm probably giving it 9 headstones out of 10. I don't want to
stroke the only pedo in DC in Mad Hatter,
and that's been confirmed. That was something I saw. Elite. I think you were probably there for that stream on the Blur Cave with my guy Ernie. Blur Without Fear. He was like literally going down like from the original. What was it? The Teen Titans run where Terror was introduced. I'm trying to remember that run.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The story's eluding me right now, but like that original run, how they had Terror like admitted she was like 15, but had her like dressing like an adult and literally alluded to a sexual relationship with Slade. It was pretty bad. But yeah,
you can argue Batman did the same thing to Batgirl, but whatever.
In that weird ass version they did, I don't know why they did that shit. That shit annoyed the hell out of me. But yeah,
argue.
Judas Contract.
Judas Contract.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm really excited though for what we have to look forward to in regards to Creature Commandos and future stuff. I know we went on a big tangent about future projects, but I think because the show isn't finished yet, we can't talk about the show's final product yet. But I think this show definitely opens the doors for a lot of the stuff we're going to see going forward because it's been confirmed this isn't a shared universe.
It has a ton of promise, and there's a ton I want to see now that I've seen what they can do here. And if you want to understand the aesthetic of this, please go on YouTube and type in The Amazing Screw-On Head and watch it. And then shame Sci-Fi for canceling it before the pilot ever got approved because it's genius.
Yeah, that shit is hard. I can't even lie. I was watching it earlier. He put me on. That shit is hard.
Send me the link to that, Aiden, when you get a chance.
Yeah.
You will release the demigod.
I definitely.
What are you doing to me? I'm going to smoke you.
Jesus. I'm excited though. I'm excited for this. I definitely want to go back to that future vision they had of all the dead heroes and like see what heroes I recognize from that. But yeah. You said reason why I'm glad Bruce Timm isn't the head of DC. Hey, we're probably going to get more Bruce Timm stuff because I know the Cape Crusader was pretty good. So we're probably
it was.
It's scattered announced for a second season. So I see that coming back under Gunn and relighting that. At some point.
Bruce Timm did a lot for DC 20 years ago, and he inspired James Gunn a lot.
Yeah,
but let James Gunn drive.
Right.
James Gunn is driving. James Gunn is not giving up the wheel to nobody.
Because now your name's on the line. They're going to look at every movie and every show and blame you. The way Feige's been getting heat, you're going to get all the heat or praise.
I'm really waiting to see who his next director is going to be. Because he's not going to be directing all of these projects. He's not going to be writing all these projects.
Once you said Jordan Peele, I got like half-mast instantly.
Oh, bro.
Because I would love to see a Dark Justice League Jordan Peele movie. That would be incredible. I would love it.
Oh, man.
Have him make a horror Swamp Thing movie, and I will watch it in theaters at least 5 times.
Because I saw like
Starfire, true.
I saw that fake. I don't know if it was fake news, but I saw him like going to consult about the Blade, or he was like consulting with Marvel about a script, and I assumed it was for Blade or for Midnight Suns, but I guess that wasn't factually true for whatever reason.
Or Blade.
Yeah, bro. R.I.P. Mahershala Ali has just been hoed about that with that whole project so far. But that being said, for anybody that wants to see more of us, I know we've been here for a while. I don't want to hold these guys up forever, but I know in a little bit, most of us are about, I don't know if Aiden, I don't know what your schedule's looking like, but most of us are about to get on Marvel Rivals again, and have some fun with that tonight. So we'll be up in maybe like 10, 15 minutes, depending on when everybody gets into the Discord chat. But we'll be in there playing some Marvel Rivals. I'll be streaming that tonight. So if you guys want to hear more of our voices and see more of what we have to offer, you can do that again as well with my channel itself. I'm the Captain Diesel. If you guys are just now finding the channel and aren't aware of what I do, again, I cover comics, movies, anime, games, all that good stuff, anything I have an interest in, Power Rangers included, apparently. In regards to stuff that I have coming out, tonight, there will be a double drop, or a triple drop if you count the stream. I'm going to be releasing a tips and tricks video for Moon Knight, because I've been maining Moon Knight in Marvel Rivals, so I put together a little video for that. And secondly, a video that I've had in the works for a little bit in regards to a character that I think will be very, very dope to see in the new Daredevil Born Again show, and a character that could potentially be the fan favorite in Marvel comic or in the MCU if he were to make an appearance. You guys can see who that is and what he's all about tonight, more than likely. I think I got the message from the editor saying it was done. So that's something that I don't have to, that was beautiful. I didn't have to worry about editing that. That was, oh my God. But that all being said, thank you guys so much for coming out and for all the support, for the 12 people that are still here, to the 48 people that watched this, and maybe some of y'all came over from the first part as well. Thank you guys so much. The Elite X1, thank you for coming in, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. And shout out to Blur Without Fear for sending some people over to see me. I appreciate that. Milestone Comics, thank you so much for being the first one, not the first one, but being here for the first time. Hunter Iggy, thanks for coming through. And to anybody else I may have forgotten, that was here, Super Casual Dad, Kevin Davis. Thank all of you for coming in and giving me some time. Please do yourselves a favor and check out some of the great content that the Anime Academic has over on his channel. He does great things. He covers shows that are very similar to this, being Archer, Bob's Burgers, and any other projects you have coming out that you want to kind of promote while you're here.
I have an Ultimate Muscle / Kinnikuman Nisei video coming out like Tuesday, hopefully. Goes over all 60 volumes of Ultimate Muscle. Most people don't know it's that long. And I will also be trying to get done with 2 other big videos for the rest of the month. So I'm going to do Family Guy, F is for Family, and Forget About It. So we've got stuff cooking.
Demi, what you got on the way, man, that you want people to know about?
Man, just look out for the streams. Come holla at me on the YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch channels. We are live.
And if you guys are looking for their platforms, if you look into the description video below, you will find their channels linked there as well. You just got to click on their names. It'll take you straight to their channels. As well as that, if you guys want to be a part of a dope community that I'm working to build of, cool people that do cool things and say funny things, you guys can look into the description below, and there's a link to the Discord chat there, where my Discord server will be there. You guys can join in, and I'm trying to be more active in there, as well as get everybody in there, get it jumping the right way, and make it a safe place for everybody to be able to express their nerd fun and fandoms, and just be a community of dope people. And besides that, you'll find the links there to all my other platforms as well, the IG, the TikTok, all the other stuff. If you want to support me on there, I would gladly appreciate that as well. But again, this has been Captain Diesel of Captain Diesel's Dojo, the Anime Academic, and Demigod Sean. And everybody remember that
You're now watching the captain.
And we will see you guys next time. Peace.